Hello, welcome. I'll try not to laugh really hard just before we go live. That Jeremy is cracking us up with some very interesting jokes about the Wars of the Roses, which is
that made it sound. What you originally said made it sound so much worse.
Yes, very niche, nerdy comedy going on here. But I am delighted to be sitting here at D&D the Castle with the Three Black Halflings, who are all assembled. Halflings assemble!
Huzzah!
This is so much fun. Yes, we're in the midst of D&D the Castle, and we are in our third and final day of gaming. So we're about to wrap the games, more or less. I mean, I say about to. They might go till 5 a.m. We don't know. But
I actually can't this time because one of my players, one who is present in this very room, has a hard out. I think before midnight. So, yeah,
amazing.
My heart's been broken. Yeah, my heart's broken.
So we are so excited to have all three of you here at our castle this time around. Liv, it's your first time dungeon mastering at D&D in the castle. And so, yeah, I think I'll start with you. Sure. How is it going? Tell me about your first time dungeon mastering at D&D in the castle.
It's going great. 3/4 of my table are here. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm having a fantastic time. It's so nice to be able to just kind of, I think you were saying earlier, it's like an immersive experience. And it's the same for the DMs as well. Last time I was here, I was an NPC, and that was such a laugh, and we managed to do some really incredible things, even through like just inside jokes that we had, and like managed to raise money for charities that actually your table was instrumental in as well last time, which was huge. But now that I'm actually DMing, it's nice to kind of like feel like you have a baby and something to kind of like nurture while you're here. And I've also been able to collaborate really well with my table, and they're a lot of fun, and I'm having a great time. So thanks for having me.
That's awesome. I think they're having a great time too. And Jeremy, you are on your final day, and you do have a hard stop, which is you've just mentioned. How is that going to go? What are you anticipating?
A lot of peril, a lot of big decisions. I'm actually playing in the same setting that Liv played in back when she was at my table a few years ago. It's the City of the Black Rose setting for the upcoming, I guess at this point, upcoming Kickstarter that we have coming out. And also the show that I think still currently being released on the public feed. Yeah, City of the Black Rose, Herald of Shadows. Available at a podcast store near you.
Yes, and I'm gonna ask you a bunch about that too. Because I do want to hear all about it, and I think people want to hear about it, and you guys probably want to talk about it. So that's a perfect trio.
Yeah, but the players are trying to figure out what to do with two opposing families, both of which have hired mercenaries, which are highly dangerous, that are potentially going to wipe out an entire valley full of people. And also there's an angry celestial involved, and no one is quite sure of what path to take. And everybody's finding things out about themselves and each other and the world. It's complete chaos. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
And we actually had a little bit of a crossover, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna
yes. Do you want to tell the people?
Tell me about it.
Idea.
Oh, was it? Oh God, I don't remember anything. We Jeremy and I, and I think there was like a little bit of a crossover with a character who is present in the series now and the series before with Jasper's character. But Jeremy and I had a little bit of a setup where my party had access to something that Jeremy's party needed, and vice versa. So a portal opened up, and all of a sudden Jeremy and his party stepped out. It was like, whoa, what's going on here? So just a little bit of fun intrigue that you can expect if you ever play at our tables. Perhaps, maybe. Not guaranteed.
It's so neat to have the three of you involved. Jasper, you've been here a few times before, and we just had a whole interview with you yesterday. So
yes. Couldn't stay away.
What's it like attending the castle with the halflings that you work with so closely?
It's very, very nice. It's like such a rare occasion for us to actually all be in the same room. So it's been lovely just like getting to like hang out as well. Like we rarely get to just hang out as either. Like we're always if we're jumping onto a Zoom or whatever, we're recording an episode or we're talking shop or whatever. So it's nice to just actually have a bit of time and space to hang out and it's lovely to see the guys and talk about the games that they're running and what like fun stuff is happening, especially for Jeremy running Mavro's setting, because we just got done playing in that setting for the series. So then it's been very fun to hear about how particularly my character has shown up in the campaign, which is a lot of fun. So my character's he's gone through some stuff, should we say, towards the end of the current season. So I'm intrigued to see how it sort of pans out with my character in your campaign.
So in this event, and we've got one of them, or we did have one of them sitting in here. Two of you have got members of One Shot Quips, comedy duo, as special guests. They're putting on a show very soon. Yes, I saw, and then you were hiding behind Justin's hat. In your campaigns, how is that? Is that? I just imagine that would be extra fun.
Oh yeah.
I'm happy to speak on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of my players are wonderful at the table, and we've been able to collaborate really well. And I keep dragging them out of the room and whispering secrets into their ears, and then we keep running back in. But yeah, Reed's been an absolute pleasure to have, especially because we're both. Well, I have two captains who are like manning the ship that the crew is on, and one is a very charismatic bard, and Reed is playing a warlock, and so they clash very often, and it's very, very fun. Of course, all with love, but yeah, so it's been really nice to like play off somebody who's also like a performer, and so it tends to kind of like be like a back and forth quite a lot. But I think we're both enjoying. Are you enjoying? Yeah, thumbs up.
Thumbs
Okay,
up.
great. Great.
He's just like,
No, this is a terrible game.
I'd like to leave.
Reed just left.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can say the same for Duke. He's been awesome. There's been some pretty hilarious running jokes with his character. He's playing a changeling who has a twin sister who is also a changeling, but his sister has been afflicted with this plague. And unfortunately, in this town, people who are afflicted with this plague have been murdered. There's somebody murdering the infected people. So in order to protect his sister, he faked his own death and pretended that, and basically had his sister hide away, and has been impersonating his sister around town, which of course created problems when one of the other PCs showed up and is like, I'm great friends with you. Hey, what's up? Because she's an old friend of his sister's. He has no relationship to her. So it's basically his sister's old best buddy running up and be like, hey, so good to see you. He's like, I don't remember your name. Yeah. And then it eventually all came to a head when he finally made contact with his sister. He was able to establish like a remote connection with her, and we rolled to see what his sister's opinion of the other character was. And I rolled a natural 1.
Yeah.
So over the connection, it was like, hey, do you know this character? And she's like, oh, she's here. Oh, I wish the assassin had gotten me, honestly. So yeah, that's been delightful. Duke's been hilarious.
That's awesome. I think that the point of D&D is just to laugh really hard, and then everything is just a way of getting you to that point where you can laugh together so hard. And I think in your guys' games, I'm expecting there's a lot of laughter going on. I do want to ask you about the City of the Black Rose. So you guys have you're in the process of putting together the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter is live. Where are we at with it?
Well,
Yeah,
you
I
go
can
ahead.
jump in. So yeah, we've been working on the Kickstarter now with Roll and Play Press for a couple of months, and we've got some sort of little test copies of the book where we can see the cover. We put those out on socials recently, and so we've had some snippets of the insides and everything as well. They've done an absolutely unbelievable job, basically taking all of the notes that Jeremy has and then sort of converting it into this amazing book. And we kind of knew that they were like the perfect partner when we read through some of their other materials, because they do really great like system agnostic books, but work very well with 5e if people are familiar with it. And so it felt like a very, very natural fit, because we sort of always wanted to do something that was system agnostic as well. And so yeah, the actual book itself is coming along really, really nicely, and we're just finalizing a couple of the last details in terms of the actual Kickstarter, in terms of some of the really cool goodies that we're going to be giving away as a part of it. We've got some very exciting plans for some physical items, exclusive physical items that people can get. So there'll be announcements, I would say, imminently about like when it's going to be launching, what's going to be included. And yeah, I just couldn't be more excited and more proud of the team for for us being on the cusp of releasing a source book. It feels really like official and real.
I can actually give one little detail.
Yeah.
I know this. I can talk about this because we talked about it in the interview we did with them. I think they just recently got a physical copy in of the deluxe box, which is as of right now, the plan is that it would be styled to look like a detective's briefcase. It is so cool. It is, yeah. I remember when they first showed me like the concept art of it, and I was like, oh! And then they showed pictures with secret compartments and different things, and I was like, oh! ah! So sorry, Justin. But yeah, really, it's extremely cool. Like, I'm so hyped.
So tell me about the setting. Oh, you have nothing to add about it.
Just to add that you can actually follow the Kickstarter page now. There's a placeholder thing there right now, so you can follow it, and then you'll be alerted and when it goes live. Yeah.
And it's called City of the Black Rose.
City of the Black
Yeah.
Rose.
Whoever, yeah. If you go to Kickstarter and look up City of the Black Rose, it should come up.
So tell me about the setting itself. What is this city? Where did the inspiration come from? What kind of a thing is it?
Yeah, let me answer this.
Yeah, sure. Well, weirdly, the event that took place that directly led to the creation of the setting happened immediately before a Three Black Halflings interview a couple years ago. Basically, one of my campaign, the first campaign that I ever ran, that had been ongoing for like almost 2 years, abruptly collapsed. Like, and then I had to go immediately from that call onto an interview for 3BH. And in the aftermath of that, I was like, well, I guess those of you who still want to play, do we want to do another campaign? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, what kind of setting do we want to do? And they're like, we don't know. And I was like, well, here's some lists. And some of the ones that I offered were like, maybe gothic horror or noir. And they were like, well, we kind of like the gothic horror, and we also kind of like the noir. And I was like, why don't we combine the gothic horror and the noir? And they were like, okay.
We're happy.
Yeah, and after that, we started playing in Mavros, and we got happy. But essentially, yes, the City of the Black Rose refers to the land/city of Mavros, which is a dark fantasy, urban sort of diesel punk is probably the most accurate term, but people probably think of it maybe as like a dark steampunk type setting. There are some similarities to something like Arcane, or I think Dark City might be another one. It's like a 3-tiered city that is surrounded by a suburban area and then a rural area. Actually, my adventure at the castle is taking place in the rural area, which is the region is called the Boonies. So it's in a valley located out in the Boonies. But yeah, it's got super high magic. It's got rampant income inequality. It's got mystery. It's got magic. It's got depression. It's got horror. It's got exaltation. It's got beauty. It's got triumph. It's got comedy. It's got everything. So if you enjoy dark fantasy, if you enjoy urban fantasy, but you enjoy a setting that can do all of those things while incorporating other tones as well, that is not just endlessly morose or endlessly terrifying, though it can be those things, I think Mavros is a great option, honestly. It's been a blast to play in, both on the show and at D&D in a Castle. Wait, has it been a blast to play in a D&D?
Oh my gosh.
There, you heard it. You heard it
Right,
here.
straight from the people.
You heard it straight from the player's mouth.
Amazing. So who created this? Was it like a collective? It was all everybody.
No, it's entirely a home game setting that I created, then went to Jasper and was like, hey, I really like this setting. We should try it on the show. And we ended up playing it, and Jasper was like, that is a really cool setting. We should do that again. And so we did a second season, and now that has led into the book and the Kickstarter and everything else.
Very cool. Very cool. So what is the plan for Three Black Halflings? What does the future hold for Three Black Halflings at this point? You're on the cusp of publishing. You've just done a live show last year. You're releasing content right now. Where are you going? What's your big vision? What's the big vision for Three Black Halflings?
Do you want to take this one?
Yeah.
I feel like there's not much we can say. There's a lot that we wish we could say.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of things that we're close to being able to say, which is very very exciting. I think that one of the best things about doing Three Black Halflings, and we've talked about this all the time, which is like how sort of wholly the community embraced us, and we were able to do and create things and be a part of the community, be a really positive voice in it. And so I think a lot over the last year or so for us has then been like, okay, what is the evolution of this thing? How do we keep doing it? How do we let it grow so that we can, because we do think that we are doing something that's relatively unique, and there's not many other like shows or things out there that are doing the kinds of settings that we are, that have the, drawing on the same cultures and that kind of thing. So it's been a lot of figuring out, okay, what feels appropriate for the show, but also how can we take it and allow it to become something else. And honestly, from my perspective, it's almost as well for the fans, like for the people who have given so much, like, that literally someone came up to us at the castle and said that she's been listening to the show since like the first episode.
Oh, wow.
And like has listened to every single episode.
Wow.
And it's like, just without people like that we never would have gotten anywhere. We didn't start off attached to a big company or with any kind of other help. It's been entirely down to the community that's embraced us and the thing that we're doing. And so a lot of the thought process for me and for us has been, how do we repay that community in some way? How do we show and give them back something? And I think that the source book and things like that feels like the first step in being able to do that properly, because we can kind of say, hey, here's a thing that you can go and now and share in the magic and share in the fun that we get to play, and then I guess you'll just have to turn up at everyone's house and run a Mavericks game for them.
That's
The plan
is
that's
own Jeremy.
That's I think currently the £500 million stretch goal is that Jeremy. I'm willing to say this on stream right now. If we hit 500 million, we'll make sure that Jeremy turns up to everyone that buys the book and runs a one shot. Because that might be the rest of your life. But honestly, we've got 500 million. You know what I mean? Yeah, it may take a while, but he'll turn up at some point.
You don't get to choose the time. It may be like
Jeremy's just gonna arrive, and you gotta be ready. Me and Liv are just sat. Where's Jeremy this week? We've lost Jeremy. He was in Venezuela. It's like a Santa tracker. It's not. I think he got missing in Finland somewhere. Right, we gotta go to customs.
Amazing. I really hope that happens. Please raise $500 million.
$500 million. That's all it is.
I
That's
want
all
Jeremy to show up at everyone's house. So, in terms of D&D the Castle, we're coming to the close, which is very sad, but also happy because everyone's we've been able to deliver them a really great time. I know Jasper is going to be back here in the fall, and we hope we will have you guys coming back in future years as well. So watch this space for opportunities to play with members of Three Black Halflings. I am going to ask if we have any questions. I know it's very early in the States, but I think we have people in other parts of the world who might be
and in
either
the room.
I'm in the room. We have people in the room. If anyone has any questions they want to ask of the Halflings or any of their individual members.
Not to put you on the spot.
Not to put you on the spot.
Question in the moment, just before we get to you, can you come unlock your phone?
Oh yeah,
Get
absolutely.
that video feedback.
That's a very important.
And then, Chad, if you wanted to ask a question, you're welcome to just shout it out, or you can get you on the camera here.
We heard that Jeremy's running in Mavros. What about Jasper and Liv? What about their worlds?
Sure, I can go first. So our campaign is set. It's mostly on a ship called the Storm Rider. So the perk of that being the case is that the players have been able to travel to all parts of the world. So yesterday they were in a jungle that was being rotted from the inside out with decay, which they had to figure out how to stop that. And last night they were in an icy tundra, and they're still there now, trying to figure out how to get past a couple of frost giants. And once again, Reed sent in a little rat that I promptly destroyed. Today I won't give any major spoilers, but they're going to be going to two separate locations to find the two last artifacts that they have to collect. So I think what it really allows me to do, which is great for my ADHD brain, is be like, okay, so today we're going here, and today we're going here, and also your downtime is going to be on the high seas. So it creates a lot of unique opportunities for the players. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
And then I'm actually running a campaign set in the Axis system, which is a homebrew world that I created for the Rotating Heroes podcast, which is the show that I GM. And that was the show that I sort of came on board, took over as the GM from Zach Oyama, and then I now run it. There's a bunch of folks out over in LA who joined that show, which is very, very exciting. We're releasing our first season set in this new setting right now. It's a kind of very Treasure Planet inspired spacefaring, planet hopping, pirate-y adventure. It's been an absolute blast. We are so far away from where I possibly imagined that we would be. I sort of had a moment last night of, am I going to kill all of the players? Is that? I think that might be the only option.
Not even the PCs, the players.
Just the players. I feel like there's, but no, I think I always like to present my players with true and proper problems. And so what I decided in the end was, oh wait, it's not my problem to figure out how they all don't, their PCs don't die. It's up to them. So yeah, they're going to figure that out this afternoon, and
Or die.
or die.
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So the consequences are very, very real for my party right now, because they're about to go and face a demigod, and they are, none of them are here, woefully underprepared.
Also, I have popped like an NPC character on the ship who's called Axis as a little Easter egg.
Oh, I love an Easter egg. Cool. Other questions? Justin, did you ask your question already? Yes.
There have been none from the live chat. I think most are asleep, as you suggested.
Yeah.
On our live streams. But any other questions in the room for the Three Black Halflings while we have this episode?
There's a lot of
So,
people.
do you have one?
I was going to ask, how far are your players from where you thought they would be?
Oh,
So
yeah.
You already mentioned yours are really
Yeah.
far away.
Yeah. Well, I think I always go into it very, very open-ended. I create the world, I create the kind of infrastructure of the world, I take what the players give me, their backstories, and I use that as inspiration for what I think the sort of thrust of the adventure will be. But in terms of the sort of how they solve the problem, I always intentionally leave that quite open. But yes, it's safe to say that there's a sort of whole second half of an adventure that I had in mind, which we aren't going to do because they've just decided, let's just kill the demigod instead. So we will see how that goes. But that definitely wasn't something that I planned.
In my case, I had always planned for it to come down to a specific dilemma. It has indeed come down to that dilemma. So I'm now watching the players figure out how to navigate through that dilemma. Although the path to that dilemma has taken some turns. I did not anticipate as many deaths as we've had. I knew it was always a possibility, but yeah, did not go in being like, they're gonna die. I also did not anticipate how many characters have been changed. A lot of changes have occurred, including one player who just arrived in this room, having been pledged to Jasper's character. Yeah, I didn't update you on this. Things got pretty tense between you two last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is news to me. Okay, so awesome. Really excited to have you on my team, I guess. Is it going well? No.
No,
It's
no,
not going well?
no.
Okay, we'll have a talk after this.
But
Sounds
yes,
so innocent, but-
yes, it
Truly
comes
so uninnocent, like the least innocent character I've ever played.
the most innocent sounding and by far the least innocent. Yeah. But yes, we're right now trying to navigate. I think part of the noir genre is having those fatalist situations where it's like, can we actually make things better? Can you actually have a clean win? I think if you watch like noir film or read noir literature, for example, it is almost impossible to ever get a clean win in one of those stories. So I think in this case, the question is, can they pull that off? Because none of the options look good. They all have their pros and cons potentially, but all of them feel bad and all of them feel like risks. So I'm just sitting here like with the popcorn, like, oh, well, what's gonna happen?
Do any of them involve me, or
Yes, actually, one of them actually involves clearing out the other people, and then hopefully you'll wait a few years and then take over the valley.
Oh, okay. Patience isn't exactly my strong suit, but I'll see what I can do. Okay.
Yeah, I've had to do a little bit of rejigging. What I love to see is like you mentioned as well, Jasper, that you kind of take your characters like backstories and kind of work that into the plot. So I have had like the campaign structure ready to go, but then I'm more than open to like what everyone has in mind for their characters and then how their backstory intertwines with some stuff. We've had a few incidents, including there's been a lot of tongue content in this game that I wasn't expecting.
Content warning,
Tongue. One was ripped out, the other was taken and given back to Jeremy's team. So
the tongue is washed off on us as well. We've also been licked.
My campaign is tongueless. What am I doing?
Oh my god!
Tongue Jasper's campaign.
I gotta tongue him in.
I'm so sorry. This is the true Three Black Halflings experience. This is it right here.
Unfortunately, yes, it is it.
We need more tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bit of feedback you haven't been using the tongue. But yeah. So yeah, so we Yeah, so we've got we're in a pretty good place, I think, right now. But it's gonna be
wet place, I
a wet no.
Off the top.
It depends because it's ice, so kind of. But yeah, no. We're gonna be. Jasper's so uncomfortable.
It's ice.
It's ice.
So the tongue is stuck.
The tongue is stuck
Yeah.
on the
Like
ice.
giant lamppost.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
I'm from Canada, so I know exactly what
Yeah.
that is.
Oh yeah, it's like you know the campaign.
So they're in Canada and their tongues are stuck to posts. Okay.
Yes.
Now I
Yeah,
know-
yeah.
It's
now I
just
know-
everyday life. It's not even
Wait, Tara,
D&D.
what?
Number one cause of death in Canada.
It's like don't do it. Don't do it. You know what happens. But yeah, no, I think we're in a pretty good place. There are a few more reveals that are yet to be revealed. But I'm very excited for what's coming up. I think yesterday's session had a few reveals from Chad's character that I know Rachel, one of my players, was the reaction was like how I felt on the inside, just kind of like, oh, yeah, just oh my god, what's happening? But yeah, I'm so excited to see how things end up. And look, if it's not where I thought it was going to be, that's even better because the players have contributed. So love that.
Love that. Well, listen, we have to let all our these lovely dungeon masters and our players get back to their sessions so they can complete their adventures. We've had so much fun hanging out with you guys here this week and in this interview. And if you're watching and you're thinking, I want to be there, I want to hang out with fun people like this, come join us at D&D in a Castle. You do have a chance to play with Jasper in the autumn in November. Hopefully others. Oh, we have one more question. I'm getting a wave from Justin here, so we're gonna
And this
squeeze
is
one
a
in.
past guest, actually, at D&D in a Castle, who says, I was a player at Jasper's table in spring of 2023.
Ooh, that's going back.
It was a homebrewed setting based on Arcane. And I was wondering if he might visit that world again, because I really love that setting.
Ah, thank you so much. That's very kind.
Wandering Heron is the name that I have for you.
That doesn't ring an immediate bell. Ask them what their character name was, then I'll know exactly. I was literally saying in an interview. But yeah, no, Nox was a really, really fun setting. Was actually partially inspired by Mavericks. I just sort of loved the concept of this sort of big sprawling city, and that being the sort of whole kind of main setting for it. I feel like it just gives you so many kind of unlimited possibilities. There's so many things and sort of mysteries and intrigue, and I really enjoy the sort of sandbox element of running games like that. And so every dark kind of alley and book and thing that you can find has some relevance to the story and what's going on. And so yeah, no, I really did enjoy running Nox, and it usually ends up with some timey-wimey nonsense happening towards the end, and well, all of the players crying, so I guess it probably worked out pretty well.
That's where
when
we're
we've
here
done
for the tears.
it. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting this afternoon. Probably
Yeah.
a lot of tears.
Felix was the name
Oh,
of the character.
amazing. Hi, Felix. Yes, very cool.
Very cool. Okay, well, thank you guys all for being here. Thank you guys for joining us in our little studio audience, as it were. And thank you for joining us. If you're watching or watching this after the fact, feel free to send us any questions. Even if it's you're not catching us live, we'll get to your comments and questions. And you can always find us on dndinacastle.com if you want to chat anytime. So thank you for being here, everybody. And we will see you. We're seeing you at the castle now. Maybe we'll see you at the castle sometime soon, I hope. Thank you.
Thanks.